Hey everyone, my name is Jessica Montgomery of LuLaRoe Jessica Montgomery, and I am coming to you guys with a 4-month update. So I have been a LuLaRoe consultant since the middle of June. So we're a little bit shy of 4 months, but I like to wrap up everything at the end of the month. It is now October 1st, so I wanted to bring you all of my numbers through yesterday, September 30th, and just kind of let you know what I've been up to and how things have been going. Just so you know, in case you have not seen any previous videos or information, I started this business with my sister. We got our onboarding call on June 10th. We received our inventory on June 13th and started selling right away that day. Since we started this business, we are now individual LuLaRoe consultants and we both run our own business. That happened towards the end of August. My sister got her onboarding call because we had prepared to run these businesses separately, and we used the first business as a partnership together to fund the second onboarding. So that was really awesome that we were successful enough to do that in just under 3 months. It was actually about 2.5 months that we were able to do that. So that's super exciting. So now we both have our own businesses. So some of the numbers I'm going to give you were from when we were doing this business together and then now doing it separately. I kept all of the original business and the original inventory, and she got all new inventory when she got her onboarding call. So backtracking just a little bit, in June, we only were selling for 17 days. We started selling on June 13th, and we had just over $3,500 in sales. We were super excited with that number. We did most of our sales online. We live about 3 hours from our hometown, so we don't know a lot of people in town. We had not yet had an in-home event, so we were super excited with what we had created for ourselves online, doing mostly Facebook and Periscope. And then in July, you guys, we had a whole full month to sell, and we had over $8,700 in sales in the month of July. That was really, really exciting. And that's when we kind of realized this was going to be something big for us. This was when we started to realize we were going to be able to start separate businesses, and we're getting really, really excited. And then the month of August came, and we did almost $11,000 in sales in the month of August. This is also the month that my sister got her onboarding call. So we did take a little bit of time to separate the business. She got hers kicked off, and I continued with the original business. And then in the month of September, which I did fully on my own, I did about $9,200 in sales. Now, at first, it looks like maybe I did a little bit less because, I was no longer in a partnership. There was only one person compared to two. But there was a couple of things that factored in as to why my sales were down a little bit. So I figured I'd explain that so it doesn't seem as if things were going backwards. So a couple of big events happened at the end of August. Number one, my sister got her onboarding call. That did take away time to run this business and do sales, as there was a lot of business side things that needed to be handled and taken care of. That was about a week worth of time that was not spent actively selling. And then I also got pretty sick in the month of August, where I also took about another week off, and it was like the end of August, beginning of September. And due to that not actively selling, I was not actively ordering, which the basics of this business is to order wholesale, book parties, and sell retail. And if you're not ordering new inventory, you're not going to have a lot of sales. I had about a 2.5 week window in the month of September where I did not receive a new box of inventory. That was combined with my sick time being off, the time of my sister and I separating our businesses, and then a little bit of warehouse delay. So if you really consider the fact that I had $9,200 in sales in September without having any new inventory for over 2.5 weeks, imagine what that number would have been had I had new inventory coming in like I normally do, which is about 3 times per week. So that's just a little bit of info on why that number is down. I fully anticipate that had those situations not happened, my sales would have been about $15,000 for the month of September. That's just obviously a rough estimate, but really I can base that off of kind of what I do weekly and things like that. So that's where I feel that number would be. I am super excited for the month of October. We're getting into the fall, we're getting into the holidays. People are going to be shopping this holiday season, and I'm super excited for that. We've been seeing some amazing fall stuff coming in. Now, I want to touch a little bit more on the sales. I wanted to get the numbers out there because I know everybody gets so excited to hear those numbers. So I wanted to just get those out right away. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit more in detail about the numbers now that I've let you know, and let you know how I got to those numbers and why those numbers may vary from some that you see from other people. I know there's videos out there where people say their first month they sold $20,000, $30,000 worth of LuLaRoe, and they explain how they did that. So I wanted to explain why my numbers are what they are and what I've done to get there. So most importantly, when my sister and I onboarded, we onboarded with just the initial inventory package that was offered. We did do the add-on package, which got us the leggings. And just so you know, if you're more curious about what that package entails and kind of the cost on that, I will have a separate video on that, so feel free to check that out. But the initial package had 510 pieces, including the add-on. So we started with exactly 510 pieces of inventory. Of that, 375 pieces were tops, dresses, skirts. The rest of it was leggings. So we started with 510 pieces. I have reinvested all of the profits and repurchased inventory. I now have over 1,000 pieces of inventory. So some people, when they start this business, invest more. I did not have the flexibility and the finances to do that. I only invested what it was required to start this business. So when you do that, you are going to have less inventory, which means less options, which may mean less sales. It's just a little bit slower building. Some people will invest $10,000 or $20,000 in this business, and then they'll have more inventory and be able to sell more. So it just depends on what your investment is as to what you will sell. When you start out, if you have about $10,000 worth of inventory, there's no way you're going to have $20,000 or $30,000 in sales. The numbers just don't add up. So keep that in mind when you're watching videos and setting your goals as far as what you want to sell. You have to keep in mind of what you have on hand. A really good simple math item to do is if you want to sell 100 items a week, you need to multiply that number times 10, and that's the basic amount of inventory you should carry. In other words, if you want to sell 100 items a week, you should have 1,000 piece inventory, and so on. If you want to sell 150 pieces a week, then you should have 1,500 pieces of inventory. All right, well, I hope that these numbers have helped you understand how my business has been going and has helped you understand maybe what you can do in this business. Like I said, some of the most important things in selling is to make sure that you're ordering. This business is super simple as far as the concept of selling and buying inventory. You really need to buy that inventory at wholesale. You need to book your parties, and then you sell at retail. It's really, really simple when it comes to that. This business is a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication. There is a lot of late nights and early mornings, but I promise you it's all worth it. I am super excited for what the future holds for this business for me. I am in this for the long haul. Somebody recently asked me, how long are you going to sell LuLaRoe? And I said, as long as they are sewing the clothes. I'm very passionate about this business. I am now growing a team, which is super exciting and a whole nother part of this business. If you do have any questions about joining a team, about sponsorship or anything related to the LuLaRoe business, feel free to send me an email, reach out to me on Facebook or on any other social media channel. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. I definitely am an open book. I will give you the upfront, honest answers on anything that you are curious about. I will not tell you that you are going to sell $30,000 a month and make this super successful from the gate. This is a legitimate business. You do need to put in the effort, the time, and the hard work, and the results will pay off, you guys. It is super exciting as I sit here surrounded with LuLaRoe and I'm able to impact women's lives. It is super, super exciting. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and checking in with me. I will be doing monthly updates, and so I will see you guys back here next month with a 5-month update. But in between then, please keep an eye on my channel for training videos. I am now posting things to help others with their business and things that have worked for me. So feel free to check that out, and don't forget, join me on all my social media channels. I'll look forward to seeing you guys most likely on Periscope or in my Facebook group, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye.